Hello everybody, this is your favorite YouTuber, Mr. Escobar, here with another video. Before I start this video, I want to dedicate this to all my 6th graders at my school that I teach in Good Old Alliance. Now, the reason why I say the 6th graders, and I'll tell you in a moment why I just said 6th graders, not this, also the 7th graders and 8th graders, but mainly the 6th graders. I want to dedicate this video to all the homies, to Joe Barbosa, to Mike Salcido, to John Valdez, and who else? There's a lot of us, to Dominic Martinez, to all the homies that went to this school that I'm going to show you right now. What? I'm going to show you a school? Of course I'm going to show you a school. I'm going to show you where I went for middle school. Since I'm a middle school teacher, might as well show all of you my school. Burke Middle School. Let's go. Okay, now I'm not gonna lie, I did a short video about 3 years ago on where I went to school when I was in 6th and 7th and 8th grade, but I came back because I wanted to do something a little bit different, which I will show you in the moment towards the end of the video, I would say, because I want to show you a picture that I have on how I look when I was in 6th grade. Now, back then, this school was called Burke Middle School, and now it's called the STEAM Academy at Burke. I believe it's a charter school now that emphasizes in science. Our school, the one I teach in, with all you boys and girls, we emphasize in being college ready, so it's also a charter school. Now, we didn't wear uniforms back then or anything like that. It was your typical middle school that has been around for so many years, and nothing too much has changed except for like really the name and of course all the fencing, because this fencing wasn't here back then. A lot of these fencing wasn't here back then, but it's bringing back so many wonderful memories, especially over there. Now, I wish this fence wasn't here because back in the days it wasn't. It was a big old landscape over here, but the basketball courts, the outside basketball courts, there was like, I think it was like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I know the video is not going to show you, but there's 5 basketball courts on the outside. And this fencing was in here when I came to school here a few years back. I was going to say many years ago. But room 16 was one of my favorite class because it was a class that taught English. And I'm going to say taught English. The classroom didn't teach English. There was a wonderful teacher that I learned quite a bit. Her name was Miss Langston. And she was one of my favorite teachers, because she told me and she taught me that books is very important, and it has been. It always has been important all my life. So room 16, one day I'm gonna look her up because I do believe she is still with us. Miss Langston, one of my favorite teachers. Now, if you can see, there's a reason why there's a big old landscape, because right behind the actual school itself, it's Rivera Park. It's connected to a park. But this is now that I come here many years afterwards, I realize how big this school truly is, because our school is only like, I don't know, not even a fraction of what this is here. But this is amazing. Now, if I remember right, I do believe this area was the library, but I don't remember. You know what? I think it was. I'm not quite sure. But going down these particular sidewalks here brings back so many memories. Over there was my science class, room 15 off in the distance. I don't know if you can see it, but right here was my science class. And I do believe, if I remember right, her name was Miss Reagan, my science teacher. But let me show you on the other side of this wonderful school that I went to. My gosh, it's so cool to be back. My gosh, I do remember this. The office is still there. that window was where the principal used to have his office. I believe, if I remember right, his name was Mr. Cunningham. He was a fair guy. I got in trouble one time. One time I got in trouble for saying something dumb, which earned me my only referral ever in my whole school career, where I ended up right there. And oh boy, it was not a good thing. I learned a lot, never to get myself in trouble, and I've always been a good kid ever since. And that happened when I was in the 6th grade. But let me go ahead and zoom here. That was over here was the quad area. Let me see if I can zoom in on that. This is where we used to have lunch, and the cafeteria is that big old building right there. That's where we had our auditorium. That's where we had our school dances, and that's where we have musicals and plays and everything. But this was the quad area right here. This is where we ate lunch. And if we had to go to the office, we come down this hallway right here to those doors, and that's where the office was, and it still is. What I was always fascinated when I came here was that I get to see all these old plaques from back in the days. This one says Falcons, presented by the classes of 1960, 61, and 62, years before I was born. Now, the reason why it says Falcons is because Burke mascot was the Falcons. I'm not quite sure if it's still the mascot, but back in my days, we were the Burke Falcons. Now, I wanted to show you this because this is part of the Rancho Unified School District, which was established in 1962, a Rancho Unified School District. And the reason why Rancho is a big name is because that's the name of the high school that I went to in Pico Rivera, about 2 miles away from here. This is I went to a Rancho High School, and the whole Unified School District is named after the high school, El Rancho High School, a Rancho Unified School District. Now, before I show you the other side, which is very, very important to me, I wanted to show you some of the houses right across the street. Some of my best of friends actually lived in these houses right across the street. My friend Jason Dross over there to the left, which one of my best friends in middle school, he lived over there, you know. And also a few of my other friends that lived on this side of the street over here. Now, I'm trying to remember the house that one of my other friends, her name is Kim Denny. I do believe it's either that house or that house. She lived over here, and the reason why I wanted to shout her out, because when I was in this 6th grade, and remember, I knew Kim since elementary school, I had a big crush on her. Kim Denny. Now she lives in Bakersfield, California. Now, as I walk towards the other side of the campus, this fencing here back in the days wasn't around. In fact, you can actually go to the door way back in the days. But I wanted to point something out here, especially that room over here. And that room was Mr. Heidenberg's class. And back then, you really just had one classroom. You changed class when you had music, and you changed class when you had health. My health class was over here, but my core 6th grade class was right there. This is where I spent most of my 6th grade year, in that classroom with Mr. Heidenberg. On the other side, hopefully one day I will show you, it's no longer there, was my lockers. Every student had lockers in the locker combination, and my locker was on the other side of that. Years later, they ripped them all out because it cost so much money to maintain. But I grew up at a time where we had lockers in middle school, and I also had lockers in high school. We were the very last year in high school which we have lockers, and that is the auditorium. And this building here is very important to me as well. That building over there. Now, I wish this building was open so I can show you the inside, but behind this wall right here was our music class, and it was taught by Mr. Ronzello. Now, I've known Mr. Ronzello ever since I was in elementary school, because he taught me how to play the trumpet, and I was very, very good at it. I wanted to be a drummer, but because I knew how to play the accordion before that, so I knew how to read music, but Mr. Ranzello wanted me to be a trumpet player, and I was an excellent trumpet player. I used to have all those Christmas solos. Even though I'm not a Christmas guy, I love playing a solo in front of the auditorium. It's connected to the auditorium, and that's where we had lunch. So this big building, and also this is the building in which we had the school dances back in the days, where Mr. Escobar went out there and say, hey, you want to dance? And all the girls like, yes, I want to dance with you, Mr. Escobar, because you're the coolest. But look at that. It's amazing. 6th grade over there. That was the restrooms over there. And then we used to go out to lunch, which we also ate in the auditorium. My gosh, this brings back so much memories. There was actually more trees around here. And this area right here during lunchtime was off limits. I just wish I can go back in time and hang out with my buddies again. Now I'm in back of the school, and I want to just point out a few changes throughout the years. So here's the school, right? This is brand new. It's been here for quite a bit, a while now. This is a batting cages, right? The handball courts are still there, and I'll tell you more about the handball courts in a moment. But this was all grass. This is all green. So what we used to do is we used to have PE here. Let me show you how that was done. So this building is probably the most important building for me, at least, is because this is where all the boys used to go inside, get dressed, put our clothes in the locker, and then we used to walk out that doorway over here, and we used to come down here, and we used to stay in line, because this was all grass, there was no fence here. Stay in line and wait for our PE teacher. His name is Mr. Fielder. He was one of my ultimate favorite teachers, and I knew one day that I was gonna be a Mr. Fielder because he inspired me quite a bit. Now the girls, this was their locker room over here. So the girls will go to the other side, get dressed, and then they will go ahead and wait over here in this grass area for their PE teacher. Now, sadly, I don't remember her name, but I'll remember her name in a moment because I do have documentation. But this fence was never here. All the girls would get dressed over here and come out. This roof is new as well. So back over here, back in the days when I was growing up, there was also a tennis court, a hardcore tennis court where we used to play. They ripped all that out, and yeah, this is where the girls will have PEs. Now, we didn't have co-ed PE back then. Girls over here, boys over here. And look at this. Nothing dramatically changed so much. There used to be a baseball field over here, and now they moved it over there. But this park right here, it is a park because the school is connected to this huge park. Is very important to me because just a few ways down over there is where I actually grew up. I grew up right across the street from the park and used to walk all the way down here. We used to go through a back gate. There was like a back gate, go into our school. After school, I'll walk all the way back, not too far, because I grew up right there. So all my life, this park has been a part of me, and that's one of the reasons why I am a PE teacher, because I play baseball here, I play football here, soccer, floor hockey, and believe it or not, I used to work at this park when I was 19 years old. I worked at a daycare center which we had over there. I'll do another video on my experience of me working in the park, which eventually led me to become a school teacher. But I can tell you, there has been many times in my lifetime where my house was over here. I used to walk with my buddies to the handball courts over there, and I used to play for hours. In that building, there's an indoor basketball. But what I'm trying to let you know, where I'm trying to get to the point, is that We used to come out here, and this was our PE area. So we did play touch football, we played baseball, we did a lot of running, and we had to do the mile run. So we had all this land that was connected to the school. Now one time, Mr. Fielder told us to go ahead and run the whole entire park and run back here. But what was cool is some of my buddies, we went all the way down there to my house over there, and we got into my house and we started playing video games for a while, and then we went across the street and then we ran back. It was really, really fun. So this is where I grew up, guys, connected to a park. And that's why Mr. Escobar is a PE teacher, because I was surrounded by sports all my life, and it connects to my middle school right here. Now I promise you that I will ask permission to go inside to show you a little bit more around campus. You're not going to see any more lockers over there, but before I end this video, I want to show you what I actually looked like when I was in 6th grade. Do you want to know how I looked like when I was in 6th grade? Do you? Well, let me show you what Mr. Escobar looked like when he was in the 6th grade. Now, my mom, who lives about an hour away from here, has all the pictures of me when I was in middle school. But I just so happened to find my 6th grade yearbook. Now, my mom has my 7th grade and 8th grade yearbook, so hopefully I can make a video on that. But see, we were the Falcons, and this is Burke. And in here, there's 2 wonderful pictures of me when I was in the 6th grade. You want to see them? You want to see it? All right, here we go. Now, before I show you a picture of me, I wanted to point out some of the teachers that I mentioned. This is Mr. Heidenberg. He was my 6th grade teacher. He was a wonderful teacher. This is Miss Ellis. She was the girls' PE teacher. And this is Mr. Fielder. He was my PE teacher back in the days. And my music teacher, Mr. Ronzello. His catchphrase was, "You guys are a bunch of pineapples." All right, let's see a picture of me when I was in 6th grade. So we were the Burke band, and these are all my friends from back in the days. Oh, there's Joey. I haven't seen him in a while. But right here, if I could just zoom in a little bit, I don't know if you can see that. That guy right there, that's Mr. Escobar. And that's one of my best friends from back in the days. That's Sal Romo. But look at that. Look how short I was. You see how short I was? And there I am, just looking cool with my white pants. I didn't know I had white pants. And I used to wear so many jackets. But here it is. Look at that. Mr. Escobar, a 6th grader. Here's another picture of me. My buddy Sal Romo. We're going to a school trip with our band. But look at that guy right there. Who is that guy? That's Mr. Escobar. Look, see how handsome I was? Awesome. So this is how I looked like when I was in 6th grade. Pretty cool, huh, 6th graders? Oh my gosh. Kim Denny, my crush, my middle school crush. Now she lives in Bakersfield. I'm gonna send her this video. She's on my Facebook. What? Mr. Escobar has a Facebook? Yeah, I can look for her. Kim Denny, my middle school crush. I miss you.